All right, welcome everybody to FFA Today, episode number 4. Joined here at, this time, the Oldsmar Tijuana Flats, another great spot for us. I'm Bobby Fenton, your host, alongside my partner and, of course, owner of the Dunedin Pirates, Andy Villamarzo. Andy, how you doing today?
Doing good, Bobby. Doing good. Here on a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that. It is Taco Tuesday, and obviously being at Tijuana Flats, it's a great spot to be. There's a lot of people in here. Last time we did this at Tijuana Flats, it was just you and me. So we got a little bit of an audience now, which I'm going to assume is because we're doing the show here.
Yeah, I think we're doing Monday Night Football. We had the Dolphins and the Steelers in the background.
That was a few weeks ago, yeah. We are also joined today by special guests, of course, the co-owners of the Southwest Florida Gladiators, a long time, first of all, defending champions, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Second of all, two-time, and of course, mainstays in the Florida Football Alliance, Derek and Rose Greenwood. How you guys doing today?
Doing good. Doing real good. Actually, 3 times.
3 times, yeah.
2 times back to back.
2 times back to back.
I gotta get this right.
And 3 overall.
That's right.
And I'm so glad to have you guys here today because there's a lot of stuff I want to get to. And of course, you guys, you probably know the league better than almost anybody, forward and backward, as long as you've been around it. And as successfully as you guys have been, so.
Yeah, we try.
Yeah, and you've done very well. We also have, and I know this is a podcast so nobody can see it, but we've got the championship rings that are going to be revealed on Saturday, right?
On Saturday.
So, we'll talk about those. I know you can't see them, and maybe we can get a post on Facebook or something.
After Saturday.
Yeah, after Saturday.
After Saturday.
Yeah.
They won't let me get the reveal in.
No, nobody should see it.
I'm sure a lot of our players will be posting on Facebook, social media.
Yeah.
You got it.
So, first of all, and we didn't get to do a show last week. Things got in the way. We got a little bit busy. You guys had the league meetings, which you were all at, right?
Yeah.
We're in Orlando.
Yeah.
So, what's the latest going on? This is the big thing that we were talking about before the show, or before the league meetings last week's show. And I want to know what happened. Like, what went on over there? What are we looking at as we get ready for the 2020 season here?
Went through a lot.
Good.
Went through a lot. I guess we'll start off with, we kind of always talked about 20 teams. 2 teams have dropped out of the league. The Palm Beach Makos,
Right.
That was the most surprising one. And the Bay Area Panthers, we kind of all knew they had some issues.
They're a startup. It's tough to start one up.
Absolutely, and they were not able to get everything going. But I got to ask you guys, Derek and Rose, Palm Beach Makos, first off. I think that was the most surprising one. They've been in the league ever since.
Yeah, they're solid.
They've been solid. They've probably been in the league 9 years or more. And I know Ray and Rev, really well. They're both great guys. And as far as I know, Ray just got a big job opportunity dealing with football. And so he was going to have to back out. And I think that it kind of came at the last minute. And it was just a lot for Rev to try to handle by himself is what I think happened.
Yeah.
And I think the plan is for him to reorganize, get some help, and then come back in the following year. But those are great guys, so
Yeah.
I'd like to see them back.
Yeah, it's a good part of the state, a lot of talent in Palm Beach County, and I know there's a few other South Florida teams that aren't that far, maybe, but it'll be a little bit of a stretch for some of those guys now, I suppose.
Yeah.
So-
It's a shame. They were a good, solid organization. We like playing them.
And they did a lot for their community. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're one of those teams at the semi-pro level that actually did a lot out in their neighborhood and
Organized. Yeah.
activities. And actually, they're one of the few that has a cheerleading squad even.
Yeah.
So I never played against them, so I never got to see what their whole deal was.
Have we ever played them?
Yeah, they came to our house, so they.
Oh,
Right,
they
I'm
didn't
sure
bring
they
the
make the
cheerleaders.
trip, yeah.
My guys were all bummed.
Yeah, just to have cheerleaders in a semi-pro game would be a new thing for me.
Yeah.
I've only seen them on 2 teams.
Yeah.
The Makos
Yeah.
and a team called the Collier Carnage in 2011. They actually played their games in Naples, and they played at Golden Gate High School, an all-turf field.
Oh.
Yeah, if they had a team like that now, that would be an easy trip for you guys,
Yeah.
and that would have been right down the...
We had a cheerleader group that wanted to come do it, and they were going to come back, and I just haven't heard from them.
Yeah.
They were going to, kind of run their own organization in a
Right,
sense.
just
of-
show up for the game, be ready to go.
show there, and then they'd be able to raise money kind of under the Gladiator banner and
Yeah.
help them out. I don't know if you're out there, call us.
Yeah, hey, anybody. If any of the teams anywhere in the state you think that might be fun, or if you got, if you got kids at the middle school or high school age and they want to get a little extra work, I know cheerleading is a big thing now and they travel and stuff. Any of these teams would be glad, I think, to have some people show up. We can get you some uniforms of some sort, maybe. I don't know.
We had a group because where we play, the East Manatee Bulldogs
Yeah.
work with us out there, and they brought out some of their cheerleaders for one of our games.
That was fun.
You know, it was just a lot of fun. Parents got to come and watch them, and they got to experience semi-pro football, which is
exactly
an unusual thing for them.
So, I was talking about this with you on text message, but we had 20 teams. There's going to be 4 divisions of 5. Are we just going to simply drop a team from those 2 divisions? Is there going to be any kind of more radical realignment as a result of this, or are we going to kind of stay the course and just go like 5-5-4-4? What do you think?
I give you one date, December 7th.
Okay.
Wait for that date, and I will have some more answers for you.
Is that the schedule reveal, or is that just another?
That's the deadline for these teams.
Okay, that's when we know who's in.
That's
Yes.
when we will know who's in and who's out. Right now, everything's speculation at this point.
Yes.
Right.
We have teams that say they're in, but we got to see on December 7th who actually comes through and who doesn't. And then December 8th is when the league has announced that there will be a league schedule out. As we know, some of these things get backed up because of,
Well, yeah, that's only one day. So what if there's not this? They have their 6 or 18 right now
Right.
that they're counting on, but the deadline's the 7th.
Yes.
So on the 7th, what if we have 15 or 16? They're not going to be able to get a whole thing done the next day.
If it's even, it's pretty easy.
Yeah.
If it's an odd number of teams, then it'll probably be delayed.
So we're hoping for either 16 or 18, basically,
Yes.
at this point. Yeah, not that we want anybody to drop, but if one drops, it would be easier.
No,
Maybe,
and the league could always take a look at, maybe there's a team or 2 laying around out there going, hey,
Yeah,
I got
pick
money
somebody up,
available,
yeah.
and we can just pick them up. And I think that would be nice. I like the 20-team idea. It really helps with travel and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There isn't so much. So
Yeah. Now, you guys, first of all, talk about how you got into this, because you've been doing this a while now, and you've been very successful. And, not just winning championships, which that part's great, but just being a team in the league consistently for as long as you have, it alone is more success than most semi-pro teams, let alone winning things. So how did you start out?
Well, we originally, a long time ago, ended up, I coached on Pee-wee teams.
Okay.
And then we ended up being, I was the president, and you were the...
I was the treasurer at the Pee Wee level, and then I took over the booster club at the high school.
Okay.
And then while he was coaching at the high school.
And then
So,
we had a company.
And this is all in Manatee?
no.
That was in Seattle.
That was in Seattle, okay.
We live in Clearwater.
And then
Right, you live in
Clearwater.
Clearwater, yeah. Okay.
And then I coached at Clearwater. She ran the booster club for, 4 years, 5
No,
years?
6.
6 years.
Well, 4 years. I was involved for 6 years, but I ran it for 4.
And we had a nationwide software company. I was the CEO. She was the president. She ran the day-to-day. So we had a lot of management-type business experience. And our sons, both of our sons have been recruited to play college ball. When Jason, our oldest one, was done, he just finished up his college season. It was December. And he gets a call from, what was the last of the class, but Nick Kirby, a pretty famous quarterback for the Bradenton Gladiators.
Oh, wow. That's
That's-
St. Pete Sharks
St. Pete.
Day.
Yes.
I tried playing against him in 2003 or something like that.
Okay.
I played for the Barracudas back then.
Oh, you may have played.
But Denny Randolph and everything, that was forever ago. But yeah, I probably played against him. Yeah,
Throwback
Alright.
Tuesday.
yeah, Throwback Tuesday, yeah.
There you go.
So Kirby, their long snapper had gone down. So Kirby calls Jason up at college and says, "Hey, I heard you're done. Can you come down and snap?" And Jason goes, "Dude, I just finished a college season." He's like, "Look, all
Snap.
you need to do is snap the ball. That's it." Of course, by the championship game, he was playing offense,
Yeah, he's going to
defense,
play
and
everything. Yeah,
snapping.
he's a college football player. He's going to play.
Right.
Yes.
So anyway, so they went through the Sharks, and the Sharks folded. He goes down to Bradenton.
There was another team somewhere in the middle of that, too. Somebody out of
Tampa.
Tampa they played for a
He
little
was up
bit.
there with Brian Kosling for a little bit.
Oh, the Florida Thunder, possibly?
Yes.
All right.
That was a short stint with the
That was
Thunder.
short, and then he and Kirby packed up and went down to Bradenton, and then they played there. And we watched all the games, and we watched all those college games.
Yeah.
We were good fans.
Good solid fan.
And to be honest, like we get to the end and we can see organizational or coaching errors that just drove me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, in my opinion, they should have had 3 titles. The Bradenton
Bradenton
Gladiators.
Gladiators should have.
And they didn't. And that was hard to watch. So I'm sitting up there with Coach Kirby, he's going, we could fix this. Like, I know. I was like, nah. And then we find out they were folding.
Yeah.
And so we got approached by Bahama, which was one of the players,
Jason,
our son, a couple other ones, Gerald, a guy by the nickname was Head. They all ended up talking to us at one point or
Yeah.
another and said, "We think you guys got what it takes to do this." And we're like, "Oh man, seriously?"
Yeah, you already probably knew you weren't saying no.
Yeah, well, we talked about it a
The
little
back of your
bit.
mind, you know.
So then we started, and we just started it from scratch.
And what year was that?
That was
2014.
14.
That 14, okay.
14.
Yeah.
And we didn't find out we were in the league until right at the end, and that's when we started assembling it. So we didn't start assembling the team until October. So it was kind of desperation to throw guys together.
Yeah.
And so we had a big meeting in PAL and brought all the players from the area and said, look, you don't know us, a couple of old white dudes, you know,
Yeah.
you don't think we know anything about football. This is our history. I said, I've raced sports cars for years. We did this. I had the company.
Didn't know that?
Yeah,
And
both of us did.
both of us
Oh,
did,
and
yeah.
with his dad at one point. So.
Yeah. We had a streak with 7 straight years in Seattle. We didn't lose a race.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Yeah.
one year we were number one, number 2, and number 3 in the club.
This is a whole other thing.
Yeah, that was a different thing.
Wow, they just don't
Yeah,
lose
most
at
people
anything.
don't know that.
And we got up.
We don't like losing. That's the
We don't
problem.
like losing. So I got up in front of the group, and I had to hook them. You know, you got all these guys. They had the history of the Bradenton, which had been winning a lot. And I said, look,
But not the important one.
if you guys buy into the system, if you guys do what we say, I stood up. I said, I guarantee you, we will win the title, and we will do it in the first year. And they're like, there was this dead silence
Yeah.
across the room, like, seriously, are you kidding?
Yeah, that's a big thing to say. I mean, you come out with that. I mean, especially as hard as it is in semi-pro and, you know, fly-by night, some of this stuff can be, and you guys come in and say that.
I know, and I'm talking to her, and I'm talking to the couple coaches that we'd managed because other coaches were told don't play for us. So anyway, there was a little bit of that going on down there. So I said we got to win it.
Yeah, you said it. You got to win it.
I said the worst thing we could, the best thing we could do, of course, is to win it. I said, but if we go deep in the playoffs and it's close, we'd be okay. If there's anything else in that, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
This will be a one-year wonder because no one's going to believe it. And so the philosophy was, all right, we're selling out on defense. If they can't score, you can't lose.
Right.
So that was it. And that was like everybody. I don't care. The talent, we're not going to distribute it. We're going to dump it onto defense. And that was the whole philosophy.
Yeah.
And as we get players, we'll rotate them over onto offense that we can. But
How many did you have that first year? And this is the 2014 season or
No, the
2015?
2015
late 2014.
season.
So 2015 season, right? Yeah.
That ring.
Of course, you showed me that ring. And so at that point, you're a fledgling team.
yes.
What'd you have?
Well, at our first preseason game, at kickoff, we had 14.
Okay.
By the late in the fourth quarter, we had a total of 18,
Okay.
and we lost by 3.
Wow.
And we went, all right, I'll take it.
Yeah.
Oh, but it was so discouraging. The practices were not well attended necessarily, and the preseason showing like that. Believe me, there were many a nights we were driving home telling each other, what are we doing?
Yeah. For as much work as it takes.
Why are we doing
Yeah.
this, you know?
And that's not atypical of semi-pro at all, from what you know that, Andy, and I've seen it in a bunch of teams I've been on.
Yeah.
So how did you grow? I mean, Bradenton is a decently populated area, but there's
Yes.
teams in Tampa that struggle. There's teams in South Florida that struggle. There's teams with much more, the population around them that still can't get it done. How did you do it in
Well,
Bradenton?
one thing that if I learned in semi-pro is everybody's got buddies.
Yeah.
And these buddies play ball somewhere, or they're at the work, or they're the gym, or wherever. And so we found there was a lot of people we felt were watching. So we just kept doing things right.
Yeah.
We'd go to practice. We started on time here. We arranged for another preseason game. And all of a sudden we had 30-something guys showed up for the next preseason game. And we blew that team out. And
Yeah.
we're like, okay,
Yeah.
that was good. And then when we did that, the middle linebacker, Mo Harris, was kind of the star of the Millionaires. And he came up and saw what we were doing and went, okay, I like the cocky attitude. They got a shot. So he came up. When he did, the entire core of the
Right, yeah,
Millionaires
like
followed
you said,
him.
that was a big...
And all of a sudden, we go into our Toys for Tots game in December with 48 guys, something like that, 50 guys.
Now you're rolling.
And now we're going, all right. And we played a tough team at that time. It was the Stingrays, I think. I don't remember. Anyway, it was a tough game, but we won.
Right.
And actually by quite a bit. And they're feeling good. You
Yeah.
know, and the defense started to look good. And we put in a combination of several people's defense. It was a combination. The basic concept came from Coach Kirby. And his concept was, we don't have a lot of height. We can't see a lot. We got a lot of these players who really know their stuff. They've been playing a long, long time. So let's make it so it adjusts on the field. So we're not worried about calling from the sidelines. We can.
Yeah.
But we're not worried about that. We get a general on the field, knows what's going on. We get all these veterans, and they do it on the field based on our rules. And so that's what they put in. And then Coach Coach Hills and Coach Gerald. Coach Gerald was a player then.
Right. Yeah.
All contributed to it.
Okay. And what was your record in the regular season at that point?
Well, we went 7-0 to
Okay.
start, and at that time we were banged up.
Yeah.
We were missing a lot of guys. We dropped the next two, both of them real close.
Yeah.
But we dropped them. We dropped one where about half the defense went to a different city, so they weren't there for the game.
Huh.
So they showed up at halftime. They
Oh, you mean they got the wrong address for the game or something? Like where
Well,
it was?
we
They
always
didn't-
produce an itinerary of what's happening for the game,
Yeah.
or in the case of championship weekend, what's happening for the entire weekend, and they had the wrong one.
just grabbed the wrong one from the week before and drove back.
So
there.
they just grabbed a sheet of paper that was out of date and wow.
Yep.
So we were down. we were hurting in that first half. Second half, we made a good comeback and then fell short at the end.
Yeah.
So we dropped those two, and then the Brooksville Ballers folded
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
for the last game of the season. So we're like, okay, this is not really good,
Yeah, you want to play?
right? And then because the Patriots went up and lost in a last-second field goal, we ended up winning the division anyway.
Okay.
At 7. Well, we'd have been 8-2.
Right, too. You would have beaten the Ballers probably had they
Yeah.
played. So
Yeah.
you know.
But then we had the bye week, and then we had the next week, which would have been the wild card thing. So then we had nearly a month off
So you had 3 weeks, yeah, between games.
between games, and got the Patriots at home. And that turned into, we came from behind to win at towards the end.
Yeah.
Scored a late touchdown, stopped their field goal, hung on, and then we had to go to the Rage. And the Gladiators, Bradenton, had never beat the Rage at home. In the entire history of the franchise, they'd always lost.
Yeah.
And we had guys that were so upset and so stressed out, they didn't come to the game. They just couldn't stand to lose another one up there.
Wow.
And we get up there, and it was a battle. I mean,
Yeah.
it was a battle. And then we had a coach inadvertent whistle, or a ref inadvertent whistle, and called back one of our touchdowns.
Oh God.
So we were behind most of the game, tied it up in the third quarter, played tied, and then with about 1 minute to go, threw a touchdown pass, take the lead, and then the funniest part of the whole game, it was a kickoff. We had 50 seconds. We had a 3-point lead. Oh no, we had a 7-point lead, but we were afraid. We just didn't want to give them a chance to.
Yeah.
And our guys were getting tired.
Yeah.
So a bunch of our players just started harassing a guy on their front line, on their return team, about the ball's coming to you. It's going to be an onside kick. It's coming to you. And pretty soon this guy's getting all nervous.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Well, then
get his head.
Our kicker messed up, and he kicked it right to him. So it ended up being an onside kick right to the guy we were harassing. He freaked out. We recovered.
He didn't recover. Yeah. So your kicker was not supposed to do that though. Like after,
No. The myth all this time is that he was supposed to kick it. No, he was supposed to place it. It wasn't supposed to be an onside kick.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. But
He
since they
missed.
were saying it anyway, I guess it worked out well.
Yeah, they were like, "Oh man, that was a ballsy call," and they're shaking my head. Going, "Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
it was. Oh, yeah, that was something special."
Wow. And so when I look back at what you guys have been able to do, like after that first year, I don't want to say the word easy, but like, did it get a lot easier to keep the momentum going? Like, I mean, how many people do you have right now, for example?
We've signed 68 this year.
68, yeah, which is incredible.
We got 25 more that are confirmed. They just haven't done paperwork yet.
Right. Now, is that pretty much the norm, or has that been pretty much the norm since you did what you did in the first season, or close to it?
No, it's continued to grow.
It has continued to grow. Like last season, I think we ended the season with 81 players on our roster.
Wow.
On average, we've signed 117 every year since we've been
Man.
in existence.
Now, we talked about this, Andy, like last week. I mean, and not that anybody's afraid of competition, but is it hard when you have that many guys? There's only so many spots. There's only so many snaps you can give everybody.
Right.
How do you guys manage to maintain that when, like if it was me and I saw a team with 100 people and a team with 25 people, I'd be like, I'm going to drive a little further and go to the team with 25.
Sure.
Because, hey, they got a little more snaps they can hand out.
Well-
How do you guys keep all these guys happy?
Some of them are going to drop off. We don't cut guys. We give anybody a chance.
Yeah.
And they can even stay with the team knowing that they're probably not going to play
Yeah.
hardly at all. Right?
Right.
If they just want to get better. And we've had guys that have been great athletes that stay and just keep working for a year or two, and sure enough, pretty soon, 2-3 years later, they're a starter.
Right.
But we get other guys that they're just trying to live
Right.
their dream of watching NFL football, and if they want to hang out, they can. So that 117 drops down to somewhere in the 80s.
Right.
Then you're going to have whatever injuries, people moving away, job problems, whatever.
Yeah, real life.
Real life. So
Signing with an arena league.
sign with an arena.
Yeah,
league.
that's happened a few times,
Oh,
right?
yeah. So we went to the championship. Last game was 68.
I think it's 68.
I think 68 actually dressed at the championship game.
Yeah.
And I like that number. That's a backup for everybody.
Yeah, that's the size of like a college travel roster usually, on the road games.
Right.
It's just about what you need.
So one of the things about the Gladiators is there's no names on the back of jerseys. Never will be. It
Right.
says Gladiators. When you step across the field, we don't care where you're from. We don't care your history. We don't care anything. You're a Gladiator, right? And you either buy into the system or go someplace else. It's okay. There's no upset from us either
Yeah,
way.
right.
And the system is that there are certain areas we rotate heavy. In the Raiders championship game 2 years ago, we were rotating 11 offensive linemen the entire game,
Yeah.
right? It's no wonder they couldn't score in the second half. Our guys are like, yeah, let's go. Let's
Yeah, you
go.
guys are fresh.
We're
I mean,
fresh.
that's semi-pro. I mean, some teams have guys playing both ways. You got guys taking shifts.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know.
We only go both ways when it's 40 to nothing, and
Right,
we
just
don't
for
care,
fun,
and
yeah.
let them play and have fun. That's what it is. So every practice is a competition. Nobody has a spot when they start. Last year's starters, the starters,
Right,
that have been
all
2 years, I don't
resets.
care. It all resets. Kind of like Seattle. The Seahawks
Yeah.
have a real heavy competition. We do the same thing. It's pure competition, and we won't decide really till our real starters till the end of the season. We'll have starters to do the switch.
Yeah.
We'll have a guy who's a stud at practice this week. And he's been getting up. Well, we're going to rotate
Try
him
that
in.
week, yeah.
And in semi-pro, we get 1 practice a week, 2 maybe. It's not like college where you're there every day and we're all in fantastic
Right,
shape.
yeah.
And myself, I look at it, I want everybody to go to work on Sunday or Monday, right? I don't want somebody to get so tired and then get their
Right.
knee blown out or something stupid. So we also do it partially from the point of view of safety. We see a guy, he takes a play off, he's out.
Right.
We know he's tired,
Yeah.
right? I don't want him hurt. And so we have a real low injury rate, because they're just not getting tired.
Right. And you have the luxury, hey, get them out. You got plenty of people you can put in there.
Right, tap out, take 3 or 4 plays.
Yeah.
And the nice part is there's not a big step between our number 1 and number 2.
Right, yeah, you probably your backups are probably comparable to a lot of the teams you play anyway, or maybe even your
Our backups are
They're
pretty good.
starting
Yeah,
to have-
Most of our yeah. I take our backups against most teams in the league.
yeah.
And most time we don't even call them backups. They're just in the rotation.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't really have that negative stigma. It's not that way with the Glads, It's we're here to win games.
What were some of the things you talked about when you saw the original team just from the stands that they were leaving on the table? What were some of the things they were doing wrong? What were some of the things you thought you could streamline just from watching and saying, hey, I think I have a better idea here?
Well, one was the defense. We didn't think it should be called on the sidelines from someone who's not in the heat of it. We don't have film. We don't have guys up high and booze.
Yeah, this isn't the pros. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have them. They can't send a tablet down there and show it. You can't do all that. So we thought, all right, the guys on the field get a gut feeling for it that the coaches can't get.
Yeah.
We just can't. We don't see the little things. What's this guy doing technique-wise? What's this?
Yeah.
What are they doing? You can't see it. So we thought, we got all these veterans, and we were the oldest team in the league our first year. As far as player for player, we averaged like 34 years old or something.
Oh, wow. Makes me feel better.
Yeah. We had Michael Lynch, who's now
Yeah, I know.
world
We
records.
talked about him. He's in the Guinness book now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he coming back or is he done?
No,
He's done.
he's done.
He got the record, so he
got
can,
the
he
record,
can
it was
relax
kinda
now.
like-
Yeah.
What more could a player ask for,
But we got a 46-year-old lineman who's over from Italy,
Okay.
legally too old to play in Italy.
Oh, they have laws about that in Italy?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
So
was
he
it
came
40
over-
or what do they cut it off at?
45, I
I
think.
don't know, 45 or something.
He's 46 or 47, and he came over and he says, will you let me play?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We got a guy in his 60s.
Yeah.
So-
he was thrilled. A big beast, big
Yeah,
huge
yeah,
guy.
all the pasta.
So we saw that, right? We also saw that in semi-pro, you don't have time to handle a really aggressive defense, and we don't have a lot of practice time for offenses to deal with these aggressive defenses. So the next thing was, we're going to be an aggressive defense, and yeah, we'll get burned once in a while, but your quarterback's going to get tired of being on his butt.
Yeah.
right? And running for his life. And so that became really important to have that kind of a. If you were uncertain about your DBs, which in their first year we ended up having good DBs, but we didn't know.
Right.
So the thing was, more pressure means less pressure on DBs.
Yeah.
So that was the thought. The other thing was ownership. Ownership had a tendency, we've seen it a lot, sit up in the stands, do whatever it does, then come down, make orders that mess things up. So I don't do it. Yes, I talk to Gerald a lot. He talks about what he's going to do. I see film, we make comments, then I leave him alone, right? The most I would ever do would walk up to Gerald and say, I see this happening, and then I leave, right? I leave the coaches to do their thing. And he does the same thing with his, unless it gets to a point where he would just have to step in, right? And then chances are we don't want that coach anyway.
Right.
So that was another big thing. One thing they like to do also was they like to do a game plan, get it all worked out, and third play of the game, change it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
one little thing goes wrong, and they get away from it.
They throw it away, and I watched them lose a Bulls game because of that. They lost another Bulls game because on first and second down, they would apply lots of pressure, back them up, it'd be 3rd and 18, and they back the pressure out going to prevent,
right.
And they completed every single frickin' time all game, and they never came out of that pattern.
Yeah.
Things like that.
Yeah, all right.
And so I tried to find really good coaching staff mind-wise. We've made a big attempt to get great coaches. And we picked up, first year we were kind of blackballed. Coaches were told, don't come over and coach for us. So we ended up having to have player coaches because I couldn't get the normal coaches.
You guys to go do it.
They wouldn't come. Then we win a title.
Yeah.
And we had Gerald, he was stepped up as head coach, player coach at the end of that game. Next year, I made a mistake, picked the wrong head coach. Worst season we had, we went 7-3, and got blown out in the conference championship game, and he sabotaged us.
Yeah.
At the end, he actually changed all the DBs, what they were doing, and didn't tell the linebackers or anybody about the changes, and we just got killed. We had a one-legged quarterback, too. He's actually literally hopping. But Rooster could hop more faster than most guys could run. So anyway, then I sat down and we went on a thorough study of head coaches because you had to have the right head coach. You really do.
Yeah, it's hard semi-pro. I mean, people, this is a lot of work.
It is.
It's not something you do just for fun. You got to really want to be out there. And even if you want to, a lot of people can't. So the pool of guys that you're probably picking from, even guys who are qualified, it's hard to get people who can actually do it, right?
Well, it is. And here we had a team with we won, a lot of ego. And it was fine, but we had to have somebody who could also talk to the players and that they could understand and who was a football mind. And so we started to go see coaches.
Yeah.
To go watch them actually coach. And we went down to, where was that? It was down towards Fort Myers. It was Fort Myers, and watched Gerald Perry, who, we'd written letters for. He'd been a great guy. He was assistant coach over at Manatee.
But a hot-headed on the field.
That's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Well, but the concern is we couldn't have a head coach with a hothead.
Okay.
We couldn't. It was
He
just-
can have assistants.
Look at you got your coach. Your head coach sets the pace.
Right.
Right. It's the culture lives and dies by that head
Right.
coach.
Like you
know
said,
what I mean?
assistance is not as big of a deal, but
Right.
yeah, the head coach
But the
it
head
is.
Right. And so that was one of my big concerns was, do we make this move? We love Gerald,
Yeah.
but observing him on the sidelines, because we had worked so hard from the beginning to change that culture
Fighting on the
on our
sidelines
team
culture.
of no longer fighting on the sidelines, no longer, making each other less of each other, putting each other down, and just, bringing it up to a level where they actually legitimately respected each other.
Yeah.
Respected the coaches. We've never personally had issues with them not respecting the ownership.
Yeah.
Well, except for one. But anyway, so it was really, really important for both of us to not make the mistake we made the year before, but also to make sure that what our vision of this team moving forward was also really held true with our head coach, and that he would be able to keep it together. Because that's one thing you're not going to see with he and I. We're not going to lose our tempers on the sidelines and stuff. We keep it together.
Yeah.
Because then everything, it starts at the top.
Yeah, exactly.
It goes down
It all
from
bleeds
there.
down.
So we went down there to watch him then.
And we'd seen him as a player. He was a great player.
Yeah.
I mean, a really, really superb player. And had an ego and was pretty hot. And I loved the guy. He helped us a ton getting the team going, just from the point of view as a player. He would just help out.
Yeah.
And he helped everybody. I'm telling you, Gerald's got the biggest heart, probably one of the biggest hearts of any person I've ever met. So we went and we watched him coach, and we sat up there and we went, look at how he behaves with these players. Look how they're respected. We found our man.
Yeah.
We knew he knew the X's and the O's. He's very smart. He knows how to plan to set up a defense. Have an offense set up the defense.
Right.
He knows how to do that. So we brought him, talked to him, and brought him on. And then he started, over time, we've been building our coaching staff. I think we have 11 now?
Yeah, it's like a college
I think
team.
we're up to
The number of
13.
players,
Or
the
13?
staff,
I think we're up to
13.
13.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just picked up.
Yeah.
We picked up 2 more, and that's because our philosophy is at practice we don't want any stand around time. So there is always a group when they're going on 7. Maybe they're doing some tackling drills when
Yeah.
or special teams drill. So it's constantly busy is our goal. Don't always pull it up, but that's what we want to do.
What do you like? What's your schedule? Do you 1 a week, 2 a
1
week,
week.
1 a week? Like,
Yeah, we changed that too. From
is it
the old
like
idea.
2 hours? What do you do? Like,
2.5 hours.
okay, yeah, that's pretty reasonable.
Well, we did that because we started off with Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the problem is you got half the team there on Tuesdays and the other half the team there
Right,
on
it's
Thursdays.
different guys. Yeah, I've had that happen a million times. You
And we
gotta
gave
say
up.
this is what we're doing.
So we just went just one. The only time we do more than 1 a week is the week between the conference championship and the championship game, and then we put an extra practice in on turf.
Okay, yeah, because you play on turf for those games.
Right. So, and then Gerald, we sat down. We said we're going to do a complete rebuild. Our guys they're old,
Right.
and they were. Most of them were retiring. They got a ring. Everybody was happy.
Yeah,
Well, some of those guys have played 25 seasons with no ring.
man.
Oh, you should have seen the tears after that game, and the tears of joy, and even at the banquet afterwards, guys just sobbing.
Yeah, I mean, you do it that long.
Oh yeah.
One guy, this was his 7th attempt or 6th attempt. He'd lost 3 in college, 1 in high school.
Oh, man.
I mean, this whole long thing, and he finally won. And I'm sitting there just sobbing. It was
Yeah.
it was really beautiful for
That
us.
was pretty cool.
So we said, Gerald, look, this is what I told him. Let's rebuild. Get the guys you want, and I don't care if you go 3-7. I'm telling you
Yeah,
that right
this
now.
year is going to be just.
It's
Yeah.
a rebuild year.
Yeah.
All right. And I'm telling you that not that I want to go 3-7, but you have the freedom to pick and choose and do what you need
Try
to do
stuff.
without pressure from
Yeah.
ownership. He's like, cool. Well, we went undefeated. in the
Right, I was
regular
going to say, I
season.
knew the next story was going to be, oh, we ended up going 9-1 or something, but
Yeah,
undefeated.
we were 10-0. Yeah. and the turning part was the Patriots. We went into the Patriots and went down 16-0. Late in the second quarter, we scored a touchdown. And these young guys are coming off the field, walking by me, going over the huddle. He goes, don't worry, coach. We got this.
Yeah, they know.
Don't worry. Go over there. We come back to beat them. And they're falling apart while we keep coming back, getting closer and closer, and then take the lead. And they had 11 shots into the end zone. And 10 of them we defended, and the 11th one they just dropped.
Oh, wow.
So we ended up winning. We won the game, but it totally changed the mindset of all these young guys. Now they can beat anybody. They
Yeah.
just beat the defending champions. Or defending, the runner.
Yeah, now you guys are that guy. So do you notice a difference when you play teams? I mean, you guys are the guys in the league now where everyone's like, I'd say your best shot or all that because everybody tries hard every
We're
week.
the ones with the targets on our
Yeah, we
back.
do have a target.
Yeah. Is that change anything for you guys? Or, it shouldn't, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
actually, it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, as soon as they start talking a lot online, they're going to get you. Our guys just start laughing, going, they're toast,
Yeah.
right?
That was the other thing that we changed with this
yeah.
team is we really insisted that they keep their trap shut on social media.
Yeah.
Now
They win the
this year,
championship.
because they blew out the Wolverines, I haven't said a word because I'm enjoying it as much as they are.
I'm too old. I mean, I have Twitter, but that's not even it now. Like the guys that are playing the league in their 20s, what do they use? Like Snapchat?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't even know.
I don't even know they use. Yeah, like I see a little bit of Facebook, but even Facebook's
Yeah.
for
Facebook,
older
they're still
people. You know.
Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter.
Let's just put it this way. I never get tired of a good picture of a donut.
Yeah. I mean, and do we have a problem with that? I mean, I'm not on there with all. I see our guys on our Facebook group. That's it. But do we have issues with anything on social media? Not really.
No, you guys
No.
are pretty good.
No,
All right.
you guys don't. And it was, we went through a transition.
Yeah.
With these guys of, we had certain expectations. You know what I mean? And they were representing the Gladiators. People knew who they played for. They represented us, and it was like we had zero tolerance
Yeah, like on the field too. Like that's, I don't want to say one of my big complaints because it's not that bad, but semi-pro, every game seems to drag on a little bit. There seems to be so many unsportsmanlike penalties. There's all that.
Yep.
Has that gotten better or worse that you've noticed in your time, or is that just a fact of life in semi-pro? I mean, you guys are the 7th year coming up now or whatever.
It's the 6th year.
6th year coming up.
It's gotten better for us only because our guys have mellowed on the sidelines.
Yeah.
The first year was, I brought a coach in for Game 7, and he's sitting on this. We won, but he's sitting on in the stands afterwards.
Yeah, every other play. Like sometimes these games don't even, get off the ground. There's so many penalties. It's like, man.
And this game kept going on and on and on and on. We never even finished it. It went till 11 o'clock at night.
You're like, we're done.
And the other team has so many penalties and so many death threats in the parking lots and all that kind of stuff. And the coach goes, "What did you get me into?" And I went,
Yeah, he had no idea.
"Yeah." I said, "But did you have fun?" He says, "Well, scary enough, I did."
And he's still with us.
He's
to
still
this
with
day.
us.
Yeah. Again, it's semi-pro football. I mean, part of it's just the nature of it, but
Well, part of it has gotten better.
Yeah.
There are a bunch of teams out there that have decided that it's better to have a good sideline. It's better to have a great organization. It's not, well, let's just play football. We don't care about the rest. Some of them are really out there, like Andy here. He's trying to build a good organization.
yeah.
And it's a joy to go play these teams in comparison. To some, there's a few of the older ones that are unruly and mouthy and disrespectful, and it's not fun. You do it because you have to, but and we hope that they see the light. And enough of these from the ones that,
Yeah.
and maybe they'll go,
Should speak for itself, right?
well, you'd
You
hope.
would think so. You'd think so, but I don't know.
So yeah, that's what happened with Gerald, and he's been our head coach since. And actually, from the day he was brought on full time, 3 seasons later, we're 34-2 with Gerald.
Yeah, I mean, again, it speaks for itself. So
And then we picked up some great coaches. Coach Hills came back. He started with us. He went over to the Patriots. He came back, and he has now been in 6 consecutive Alliance Bowls.
okay, so in some capacity.
Some
Yeah.
capacity.
In coaching capacity,
And coach, he was 1 with the Bradenton Gladiators. He's been 3 with us and 2 with the Patriots. And
Man.
he lost all the ones that weren't with us, and he won all the ones that were with us. So
There you go. We're talking to Derek and Rose Greenwood, owners of the Southwest Florida Gladiators. Of course, they'll likely be in the same division as we are, Andy. So, we got to get the Love Fest. We got to play these guys 2 times. But, we'll get the schedule in a little while. When you look around the league, though, and you look at teams, and we talked about all the teams in our show a few weeks ago, I guess they're the gold standard for the Central Florida area. And where do the most of your players come from? Like, are they pretty concentrated in Bradenton? Are they all over the place? Like, what's the makeup of your roster?
Fort Myers, Sarasota,
It's a long way. Like Fort
Bradenton,
Myers is what, like an hour and a half? How far?
Yeah.
Clearwater, Tampa.
Yeah.
We've had players in Lakeland. We had players traveling from Orlando. We had one player traveling all the way from Jacksonville.
Man.
He'd come back. He'd come down.
That's I
spend
can't.
the night with family. And then
Yeah, I can't
go
believe
back.
anybody would like. I mean, I guess one
I think
practice
it's
a week.
insane,
Yeah.
but
And we had, El Rey's from Orlando. Is he back this year, by the way?
Yes.
I mean, like, so we have people that do it.
Yeah.
It's just amazing to me, though.
Well, a lot of the guys that come to us, they're like, I've played for a lot number of years. I'm 36 years old. This is about it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of those guys, and I've never won a title. And
I just want to be a part of it.
and they want to be part of it. They've never had that feeling, that experience.
Yeah.
And then we get a lot of young guys coming back from college. I don't want to say too much, but we got some great guys that just came back from college.
Yeah, sure.
And their expectations are pretty high as far as what they expect. They want we aim to have a Division III type college practice.
Right.
That's kind of our goal. We don't
That
have
makes
the,
sense. That's a good idea.
Yeah, we don't have the resources to go a Div 1 practice. We just don't have that
No,
kind of
yeah.
kind of money. But we could do a Div 3 type practice. And we have of our coaches, 3 of them are ex-NFL. So we have tons of ex-arena leagues. We have a lot of experience at coaching. And so when they come, there's a lot of respect for those coaches. And that helps.
Yeah.
It helps a lot. And the coaches all bought into the system. They all have to learn what we do. Like, we don't tear players down. That old thing of tearing a player down so you can bring him up. We figure life tears guys down enough.
Yeah.
We really don't need it more.
Yeah.
Now, if they do something really stupid, yes, there's rules against it. We don't vary on them. That's it. We had a player last year we had to bench for the championship game. Couldn't even dress.
Right.
Right? It's the same. It hurts us. We don't like it.
Yeah.
Right? But that's the rule.
Right, yeah.
So we don't vary from him. And he's back this year.
Good.
And
That's a testament to the way you guys are doing it.
We're super pleased that he's back.
You know, we have two players that moved up here from the Miami area. They moved up here so that they could play for us.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason why they wanted to play for us was because they had played against us and seen the way our sideline was in comparison to the way their sideline was. And it was just like, it was like night and day. And they keep making comments about how much organization we have in our team, you know, how well things are put together, how well the practice runs. They haven't even seen us for game day yet, but you know, how well the practice runs, you know, because it's not necessarily the norm. See, part of the problem that I observe with some of the owners in the league is that they don't have any business savvy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're ex-players themselves, and they want to have a team because
Yeah, and they want to do their
love
best, but they don't know.
football
You
or
know,
whatever. Right. They don't
know.
necessarily have
I
the
wouldn't.
business
I wouldn't
acumen we
know.
have.
Well, unfortunately, they won't ask.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing we wouldn't.
Right, yeah, no, you guys want the league
know?
to be healthy. That's what I like
We
about
do.
you guys is, you know.
You know, we've asked back and forth. We've asked questions
Yeah.
to each other, and we're always been welcome. You know, I'll tell him anything he wants to know.
Well, in every single game, at the end of every single season, we sit down and go, what can we do to improve ourselves?
Yeah.
I don't care, even coming off the championship, because like, okay, what do we need to do to improve?
And we did.
Because
we
if we
identified a whole
stay at the
stack.
level we're at now, they're going to catch up with
Yeah,
us.
eventually people catch up, and you got to keep improving.
Right.
That's right, and it just goes that way, you know, consistently. And these two guys, they came over, and one of them said, "Well, my owner basically said you guys just cheat." I'm going, I'm not sure exactly how we do that. There's a thing called referees that prevent that. From
Yeah, I
occurring.
mean, there's no rules against how you get your players, right? You don't pay anybody. That's the only rule, I think, right? So.
Yeah, there's no paid, and they're like, no, we even charge full price to the linemen, and they're like, really? You're going, yeah, you want to be a gladiator? You're here on the same basis as everybody else.
Is that a thing? Do you let the linemen have a disc? I mean, they should. They're so hard to find.
Miami.
Yeah.
There's teams who do it. We
And you're allowed to, right? I mean,
As long as it's not below $100, anything below $100, other than an occasional scholarship,
okay.
is illegal.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I know, like in pickup hockey, you know, everybody wants to be a skater, and it's hard to get goalies. I know the goalies never have to pay for anything. Like when you go, you know, these pickup games at the ice sport.
Really? Because the
Yeah.
goalie would be the one I'd want to play.
Yeah, well, it's hard. All the equipment costs a ton, you know.
That's true.
Like it's hard to find guys that want to do it, and they have to it takes them a long time to get dressed, all that stuff. And yeah, they get special. Just if you're a goalie, you, can do whatever, you don't have to pay for anything.
Well, it's funny, these guys, when I got all done, we did some practices. I came up there and I said, all right, honestly, so what do you think? He says, well, I'm calling back and I'm saying the Gladiators win because they're legit.
Yeah.
Holy cow. He says, you guys work us this hard and you have this rotation. He says, you can go 100% every play. I go,
Yeah, that's the whole idea.
You got
Man.
it.
That's the thing, and that's what's so impressive is how you've got that many people all pulling on the same rope. And it's
Yeah.
something that's semi-pro that's pretty hard to come by. That's what we're trying to do, right, Andy? We got a good nucleus now. Like we're starting to grow. How many have we had at practice the past few weeks?
between 30 and 35, which those are, you know, good numbers.
Preseason, that's
Those are
more than
good
I ever
numbers
remember.
for-
Yeah.
That doesn't even count me because I've been coaching t-ball.
and
So
with our numbers, we've been just under 50.
There you go.
And those are the numbers we would have had a couple years ago.
Yeah.
So you're doing really good.
yeah, so
Well, and you listen to and see pictures that get posted now and then of the practice, and that's not anywhere near what they say that is. But
Yeah, well, there's that. We go with that.
So before we wrap up, just looking at semi-pro football in the state of Florida in general, you know, and how many leagues are there now? What is it, like 3 leagues?
At least 3.
Yeah, about 3.
And I think Florida Football Alliance is pretty well run. I think it's pretty much the best one. I mean, you know, looking at all the leagues, I'm not trying to say anything negative about other leagues. I just don't know as much about them. But do you ever see things getting to a point where it gets a little more organized? Instead, like there's a league here, then this team's in that, then they move back and forth. Again, is this just a nature of semi-pro football thing, or?
I think it all depends on the management of the leagues. If they really get their stuff together and they really put in quality management, I think one league will take over and dominate, and it'll be one massive league.
Yeah.
And I think until they do that, it won't.
Yeah.
It'll stay like that. And that's what I think.
Yeah, I think the Florida Football Alliance has done the best job of all of them. And if you win the Florida Football Alliance, the Alliance Bowl they call it,
Yeah.
then you are the champion of the league. And with that, you know, there's certain things that happen.
Yeah.
And
like
you-
bragging rights.
Yeah, you're showing us the ring here. This is the new one.
No, this is the conference championship.
Oh, okay,
ring.
it's conference championship. Okay.
We're one of the few teams, or maybe the only team, that does a conference
Yeah, I
championship.
definitely
ring.
think you're the only one. I love your logo. Who designed your logo, by the way?
my son.
Your son? It's nice. Like it's professional
He
looking
actually is
logo.
one that designed all the rings too.
Okay, yeah.
Gerald helps with some of it, but Jason or
So you got the inside engraving there. It says Gorilla Game.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's, oh yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to say. I can delete that from the podcast if I need to.
And there's the championship ring.
Oh wow, look at that. Hey, if you're listening to this and it's not Saturday yet, you're in for a treat. Believe me.
Isn't that pretty?
That is some hardware right there. I mean, I've held Super Bowl rings and stuff from guys I've done radio with and things like that. And this does not look different in any way. Like this blends right in with all.
Yep.
I mean, that's.
And I have a,
You get the
additionally, I
necklace.
have a pendant. These are,
Yeah,
I'll add
pendants
mine
here?
to this, but then
This
they
is
also
something new.
offered a pendant this
Man,
year,
that's
so-
nice.
Isn't
Yeah.
that beautiful?
It is really pretty. I mean, it really is like a nice. Some of them can be kind of gaudy. These are. I'm not going to give it away or anything, but these are very classy,
Thank you.
understated in the right way, and still has all the pertinent information or things you
Yes.
might want to remember
Yes.
if you played in these
It's
games.
got little inscriptions, things down the side.
Yeah.
All the stuff like this that is important to what occurred. Because think about it, this ring's going to go on somebody's fireplace eventually,
Yeah.
or on the shelf, and they're going to be showing their grandkids when they're 50 years
Yeah,
old or 60 years
absolutely.
old. And all the things that they need to remember that's significant are pretty much on those rings.
Everything, yeah. That's the beauty of it. I was the assistant coach for Jefferson High School, and we won the state championship in 2010.
wow.
Yeah.
And I still have my ring.
Yep.
And we weren't even going to do rings, and somebody volunteered and paid for it.
Oh, wow.
Some lawyer. And yeah, I mean, I have it. My son looks at it now. He was before he was born, but I mean, those things really do kind of reinforce the memories you have.
Yeah.
Whatever's in your mind, it kind of brings it out when you look at one of those.
Yeah.
Well, another interesting thing it's done is it's given a lot of our players coaching jobs.
Oh yeah,
They'll walk in for an interview.
you wear that thing, and all of a sudden,
And they say, what comes out of the mouth generally is, oh, you already know how to win.
yeah. It's. I mean, again, maybe we should borrow a couple, just for a regular job interview, not even anything with football. Just if you were one of those to an accountant job interview, I bet you get the job anyway.
Well, you probably get noticed.
Yeah.
Just wear them to get sponsorships.
Or yeah.
I don't know.
There's lots of it, but hey, you know what? You gotta win one. You gotta
Yeah.
win
You
one,
gotta win one.
and you guys have done that. So I look forward to seeing you guys on whatever it is. I know the schedule will come out whenever it comes out.
Yeah, we'll play at least twice.
So we'll play at least twice, and yeah, I'd love to think we play more than that. If
It's
that,
our best
that would
showing
be-
of the year, actually, when they come into town.
That is true. Yeah,
Now
yeah.
that's funny.
People know that's a marquee game. It's like when the Bucks play the Patriots or something like that.
Yeah?
So
Well, and for us, it actually feels like a home game.
Right,
It's only
close.
down the street
Yeah,
for us.
we live 10 minutes from your field.
that's true.
We
Because
live
you're
an hour
Clearwater
from
people,
ours.
and you're farther to go to your home field than for
a lot
us. So
farther,
that's-
yeah.
You probably tailgate and everything. So look forward to seeing you guys. Thank you so
Yep.
much for joining us.
No
Derek
problem.
and Rose Greenwood. Andy, I know you, like you said, December 7th is going to be the day that's when we know who's in the league.
We
Absolutely.
should.
And then after that, and so I guess they're going to make like a soft schedule. And if everything stays the same, then December 8th we get it. Is that pretty much
That's,
what you're
that's
saying?
what I'm guessing that they'll
Yeah.
do.
That's
Yeah.
the hope. Right
Yeah.
now, 18 teams. We're hoping.
Right.
I think all of us are crossing our fingers at this point.
If there's any change, we'll delay things a little bit, which is understandable. And we're still looking at Gasparilla Saturday for week 1, right? And that's usually.
Yep.
That's
and then-
what it sounds like, and I do know
Oh,
the
that's right.
And they'll have a kickoff classic.
Right, he was talking
Right,
about
that's
kickoff
week
classic.
one. Isn't
Right.
that week one? Is
Yes,
that Gasparilla?
the
though?
25th.
I believe it's the 25th, and
Oh, so the week 1 for the whole league is going to be the next week, you're saying?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
February 1st
I
or
like
2nd.
that because I won't have a game on Gasparilla Day unless we're in the Classic.
Unless
which,
you're in the
you know,
Classic.
which we don't know.
don't know. I would be remiss if we left off here. The Gladiators are going to be in the Sunshine Bowl, actually, down in Miami.
Oh, yeah,
They
what do you
don't
guys say?
know
What
the opponent.
preseason games are
Yep.
coming up?
Well, we have the Toys for Tots, which will be December 14th.
Okay.
We'll be playing the St. Pete Reapers.
Okay.
They were brave enough to do it. We had an awful bunch of them that were like, yeah, no,
Yeah,
nah,
they
that's
went to
okay.
it, yeah.
Nah, we're not going to come down there for that. And then we picked up the Sunshine Bowl, and we've been promised an elite matchup from somebody. So that will be cool. That'll be good before the season starts, and try out all the new guys because we've probably signed 25 guys that weren't on the
Yeah,
roster.
that you've never seen before.
And we've only lost about 5. So
Yeah.
it's going to be, it's always fun plugging in all those new pieces.
Right.
And,
Seeing how it looks.
well, and sometimes you really get surprised. Sometimes there's some serious gems that you just didn't expect.
Yeah.
We've already picked up a receiver, and we didn't think, but holy moly, that guy is good. We
Right,
had
yeah.
no idea.
You don't know until you see him out there.
And he's young.
And he's young.
Well, it's when Derek and I first started this, we sat down and went, what do we want out of this team? What do we want to do with this team?
Yeah.
And obviously, the first and foremost thing was to win that championship that first year. And then the next thing was we wanted to build the new elite dynasty. We wanted a dynasty. We wanted, at that time you looked at the Bulls. The Bulls were the dynasty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then you go back and look at it. The Bulls and the Glads are the only teams left in the FFA that ever won an FFA championship.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
We're one of 3 teams that of the original teams, or not the original. Since we've been in the league since 2014, there's only 3 teams left
Right,
that we started. Then have been there consistently that whole time. Us, the Reapers, and the Bulls.
Yeah.
So it's just an interesting fact. But we wanted a dynasty, and that's what we look at. We are actually in the process or have already built.
We're trying to submit that this year.
Yeah, and hey, what you've done already is pretty close to it. But yeah, I mean, we'll see.
We got the second most Alliance Bowl wins. We have 3. Bulls are still way out in the lead, but they have 6.
Because they go back to like the early 2000s, right? I mean, what's their?
Yeah, they've been there
I played against them in 2006 in a different league or something like that. But yeah, they've been around a long time.
Yeah, they were in Dave Rice's old league.
Yeah, that's the one I was in. Yeah, Southern State
Football
SSFL. Yeah, I was
Yep.
with the Gulf Coast Raiders in that one, and the Barracudas, Florida Barracudas in Tampa. And yeah, they were around then. That was 15 years ago.
Right.
So yeah, obviously they're going to have a few more. But looking forward to your 2 preseason games to see, get a little preview. Our preseason game is December. Is it 15th? What's the date?
December 14th.
14th. I think what the Saturday is, and we play the team from Colorado, the Rockets. Oh,
And there is breaking news.
break the news on the show.
Breaking news. The Colorado Rockets have backed out of that game.
It seemed tough, man. To fly a whole group of guys like that. But we're still playing a game that day, you're saying?
There's going to be a game. It's looking
Team
like
is?
December 7th or December 21st. That's a TBA.
Okay, TBA. No drum roll for the TBA. And we've had, the Lake County Storm. We've tried them a couple times. Didn't finish the game with them last time due to some disagreements. But, there's them. There's a few teams. We'll figure it out. Or the St. Pete team that's playing them.
If you're not playing on the 14th, come down, bring a toy, come watch us play.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, we'll figure something out. But either way, so that's some breaking news there for the Dunedin Pirates. Thanks to you, Andy, Derek, and Rose Greenwood. Thank you guys so much. I'm Bobby Fenton. That is your 4th edition of FFA Today. We'll be back with our next show. I'm not going to set a date, just that way we don't get all the calls. But we're always working on a next show. I promise you guys that. And until next time, good morning, good afternoon, good night. The FFA, the league that delivers.